Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the shed. I am Lonnie.
Hey, I'm Candace. Welcome back. It's Monday morning. Lonnie got all those packages shipped last night.
Or packed, yeah.
Not shipped. Yeah. He does a lot around here. He does not actually do the shipping.
No, I don't. Yeah, these are the ones we pulled. Candace and I came out last night, or not last night, during the afternoon.
Yeah.
Did a little work. These are the ones I pulled then. We do have, I think, 8 more orders to pull this morning that have sold in, since we pulled these yesterday.
Yep. One of them is a nutcracker we need to get out of storage.
Yeah, I got to go to storage in a little bit.
That'll go UPS, so there's no time crunch on that one.
Right. We did have a good question that I saw in a recent video, and this is an important thing, especially like people that have a little experience pretty much know this, but some newer sellers, this can really bite them in the butt early on, and it could cost them a lot of money.
All right, so the question is from Andrew Grainer. What does he mean it's dimensional charges? So, Lonnie, he would like me to ask you, what do you mean it's dimensional charges?
Okay, it's like a third. It's always weird.
I'm the mediator.
Okay, so that's why I was third person. They didn't want to ask me directly.
I guess.
They're probably asking another viewer what it is,
Probably
assuming
so.
that we wouldn't.
Usually when I see it worded like that, that's what I assume is going on.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But we actually got to it. So when I talk about dimensional charges, that's any time that a box is going to be over a cubic foot, then you're going to incur extra costs. So like in a cubic foot, so let's look at this. Let's start first thing first. A cubic foot, simplest would be 12 by 12 by 12 cube, right? If you multiply those dimensions, 12 times 12 times 12, you will get 1,728 inches. So anything over 1,728 inches, you need to be careful. So like if you have a box that ends up being 13 by 14 by 10, and you're like, okay, is that over a cubic foot? 1820. Yes, it is, because it's over 1,728. And let me show y'all what happens to a shipping price once you go over a cubic foot. So this is an item, it's some kind of game.
It's a board game.
Yeah, this is one of the things we have going out today, actually. Covered up the buyer data. But it weighs 3 pounds. When I did the listing, I did 12, 12, 12 as the dimensions. And a lot of times I'll put in 12, 12, 12 just as like a placeholder, because pretty much when you're listing on eBay and you're filling out one of these forms with the dimensions and the weight, if you don't know for sure what your dimensions are going to be, 8, 8, 8, 10, 10, 10, 12, 12, 12, none of it matters as long as you don't go over 12, 12, 12, because then it'll start getting priced differently. So let's look at ground advantage first. This is going to Minnesota, and at 3 pounds and 12, 12, 12, it ships at $8.75 ground advantage. As soon as we change any dimension to make it a little bigger, it's going to go over a cubic foot. And watch this price change. $14.09. So the weight's same. We added 1 inch to one dimension, and the price went up by like what? Over almost $5, over $4,
yeah,
something like that. And it happens on several classes of service like that. Priority mail is $9.59. $9.59 if it's 12, 12, 12. But then again, if we go 13, 12, 12 with priority, lock that in, it goes up to, it doubles the price. Adding 1 inch to one dimension doubled the price. In all those cases, it costs a lot more just to go a little bit over a cubic foot. The only time it doesn't do that is when you're talking about media mail. If this is a media mail package, it's not. Then 12, 12, 12 costs $5.42, but let's say it was a really big book made out of foam or something. I don't know what it would be. We'll go something stupid. 36 by 10 by, well, we'll go 36 by 12 by 12. That's a really big box, right? And what is the media price? It's still $5.42. So media rate is not affected by dimensions because they have a special way to transport those huge media boxes. I don't know how. But yeah, that when I talk about dimensional, that's what I'm talking about. Like once an item is over 12 12 12 or over let me say it another way. Once an item is over 1728 inches, once it's packed, typically we're looking at shipping that via UPS. Although now ground advantage up to a point, up to a certain size, ground advantage is still usable versus UPS. But the really big boxes, like once you get up to like maybe a 16 kind of thing, usually UPS is the way to go. So when I say dimensional, that's what I'm talking about. All right, we're ready to pull some orders?
We are. The first item is that game we were just showing in the example, and we actually sold 2 of them to 2 separate people. So if you want to go ahead and grab 2, they're on 1 alpha.
Okay. 1 alpha.
1 left.
5-minute marvel, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we do have 1 left. See it right back there. We got these at a garage sale for $5 a piece or something?
Yes.
Is that what we paid?
Yes, we got her from the viewer. Was it Ashley?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
No, you're right. Absolutely, it is. Yes, this is some of the Ashley stuff. That's
so
right.
those sell for $30 each.
Okay, yeah, man, that was awesome.
We have some dog clothes to get down. One of them is in the Big bin A, so we need to get that down.
This guy right here. All right, I'll be right back, y'all. And this way we've been storing the dog clothing. It's a little inconvenient, but it's only.
We've sold so much out of here. I might be able to just put all this contents into a box.
Yeah.
Because it's pretty low now.
Yeah, this has actually been working out fine. I mean, it's definitely inconvenient, but the inconvenience only lasts for a little while.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
Yeah, this stuff is about ready to go into a little box.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
The sell-through on this stuff has been pretty decent.
That's a medium. I'm going to check the size. And we have a medium, yes. And the other one is 5 Echo, the little file bucket I have.
5 Echo?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about right here. What number is it? 17, the purple t-shirt. 17, purple t-shirt. This guy right here.
Yep, that's from the movie Coco. It's a little Disney.
I see, it's like the Day of the Dead skull.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is that on one order?
Yeah, both those things are on one order. Both of those together, $25.48.
Okay, I'm gonna put the old dog A up.
On 9 Delta, we sold the little 3 battery pack.
Oh yeah.
6 volt.
And we got these from Kevin and Danielle. Batteries in. Nice little score there, because like we have a bunch of them.
Yep. I don't know what we started out with. There's 10 sets left. Sold those for $19.13.
This is like the 4th time I think we've sold them.
The next order has 2 dog t-shirts in it. One of them is actually in this box that I haven't put up yet. All right, it's number 8. There's 7.
I think these boxes are much better.
Yeah. There we go. Look how cool these are. It's a little David Bowie t-shirt.
Oh, that's good. What? The David Bowie live in Santa Monica. Oh, a band. I never thought of band t-shirts on a dog.
I know.
That's pretty awesome.
And the other t-shirt is actually in that 5 Echo little bucket. Number 16.
16?
Yep.
This is it here, I think. Oh, this is Surf Local t-shirt.
Yeah, a little tie-dyed Surf Local t-shirt.
Yeah.
Those 2 together sold for $19.98. We have a dog collar in the guy drawer. It's a pinkish oranges floral print. Yep.
Like this?
That's it. Sold that for $10.
Yeah, the Lucy company stuff looks like it did pretty good, huh?
Yeah,
or does pretty good.
A little better, a little higher quality, I think. We have a reel on 5 Bravo Carole King tapestry.
5 Bravo.
Mm-hmm.
And this is one of those all-time albums here for sure. This kind of for me anyway, this kind of falls into that category of albums like Fleetwood Mac Rumors or something, right?
Yeah.
This isn't so much my style of music though.
Rumors, best album ever. That sold for $60. That's everything going out except the Nutcracker. So our plan is get this stuff ready for the carrier, and then we're gonna go to storage, and I'm
transfer some stuff.
Yes. My plan is to finish up the dog stuff today and start listing action figures.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah.
Candace and I have been listing pretty hard the last few hours.
These things are cool. Check out our listings. Lonnie put a little video of them in action.
Yeah.
They're really cool.
No, they're neat, and we kind of figured them out. These are those Avatar dragons we bought a couple of weeks ago. We paid $25 for the pair.
Mm-hmm.
And being that we have the base, which is a big deal, most don't come with the base.
Right. That adds to the value a lot.
Yeah, and then we also have the box even.
Yeah.
And that'll help too. So because of that, we're going $65 a piece.
Yep.
That's kind of top of market, but based on the condition and what we have coming with them, I think it's the right price. And they may actually sell pretty quickly.
And the fact also that helps is the working video showing it, making the sounds,
right,
moving, showing it in action. That always helps.
Yep, nobody else is doing that.
No.
So
yeah, without the base, they sell for maybe 20 or 30, huh?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think 30.
Yeah.
Would think without,
if it's in good condition and it works, yeah.
$30.
Yeah.
I think that's the about the right number. You might be able to squeeze a little more out of it. Some people have tried to do auctions. Of course, that's a big fail.
Yep.
I'm trying to clear out. Oh, I listed this skateboard for $70. We bought that at the same garage sale that day. And then I also tested and listed these 2 Philips Hue things from the same garage sale.
And I went ahead and finished listing the Batman Imaginext, the big items. This guy I did for $60.
60?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the big pieces, which we're gonna bring to storage instead of trying to store them here.
Right.
I did $150 and $125.
And those are probably going to be long tail, I'm thinking.
Yeah, we're pushing for a fourth quarter sale with those prices. Historically, they have sold for that, and there's not a lot of them out there, so we'll see what happens.
Like I was telling Candace on that buy we did with Guy, when was that? What day was that? That was just past
Thursday.
Past Thursday.
Yeah.
On that buy, we paid $900 and we had 91 pieces, so we paid about $10 a piece. I'm willing to take a few of the oddball things like that, price them up and wait.
Yeah.
And just wait.
Yeah.
Not get in a hurry. This is not the time of year to get in a hurry if you can help it. If you need sales, and you got to price how you got to price. But I really think right now, if you can just hold on some of that inventory that might be great for Christmas, you should.
I'm in the home stretch on my dog stuff. I'm down to 5 harnesses. They're all the same thing, so it's going to be make a listing and sell similar and change the size,
Okay, good.
So that's done. We're bringing the shoes that I didn't get a chance to get to yet. They're going to storage because I have action figures waiting on me.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
That's just how it is.
I don't blame you. And you've been grinding on this dog stuff for so long now.
Yeah.
You need to list something that you enjoy for a little while.
Yes.
Or you'll go crazy, I think.
Yeah.
I think you would go crazy doing the shoes. You would not be happy.
Yeah, so before I get to those, I'm gonna get those Marvel Legends figures listed and the chess pieces.
Yeah.
So yeah, excited.
You'll enjoy that.
Yeah.
You'll have fun with that. And then I'm gonna keep on trying to. My goal over the next couple of days is to try and get all this stuff out of this aisle listed or donated or sorted or whatever and get this cleared again.
Yeah.
This skateboard's going up whenever I can get to the
To the up.
when I get to the, yeah. Well, we're using the step stool. You can see we have more inventory over there.
Yeah, that's the stuff we picked up that, I mean, it's not much, but it's definitely stuff that...
Oh, it's good stuff.
It is, and it's stuff that Lonnie prefers for me to list, I think, like dolls, you know.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think it's best.
So that's going to be on the back burner till I get the Marvel and chess pieces listed.
Yep. And I'm going to do all the yuck stuff that nobody else wants to do. I say nobody else. There's only 2 of us.
Like a vacuum cleaner.
Yeah, I have a vacuum cleaner I'm going to list later today. And actually, I think I'm going to probably finish this listing up. We're going to go to storage. I'm going to list that vacuum cleaner.
You have a nutcracker to pack.
I want to have a nutcracker to pack.
Yeah.
And then I think I'm also going to edit a video that's going up for tomorrow. And that might finish out my day.
Yeah.
I tell you what, I'm like this extra time I have today is huge.
It is. You were able to get some listings done. Mondays, that never happens.
Yeah.
Of course, we did come in and work a few hours yesterday, so...
It's paying dividends today.
Mm-hmm.
So
yep.
Sometimes it's time to, you know, goof off and go do fun things and whatnot. And sometimes it's
put in extra work.
Put in a few extra hours. There's nothing wrong with either one of those scenarios.
Yeah.
So I'm going to get this guy finished up. All right. Candace and I had made it back. And look, could see the floor mostly. And the bench we kind of cleaned up.
Empty for a minute, then we put in the action figures.
Yeah. That's all the Marvel Legends there.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna be good.
Oh, I do too.
I mean,
I'm excited to see what we have.
I think they're gonna be really good.
Yeah.
Like I said, we paid our unit price on that buy is $10 a whack. Some of the boxes are scuffed up.
Yeah.
That's not a huge deal. But yeah.
Some of them are yellowed. That
Some
one
are,
is.
yep.
This one, it's interesting. The outer package is not yellowed, just the inner plastic. I don't know how that happens.
They pretty much all have comics in them too, don't they?
And cards sometimes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right on. That's going to be good stuff. We are keeping track of that stuff
From that buy
for $900. We're keeping track of that on a spreadsheet. Just and we do that with a lot of our buys now. We didn't used to. Just for fun. It's kind of, I find
fun to see how much you made, like how close you were to your estimation.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, exactly. Because like I kind of estimated we would have around $2,000.
It's gonna be higher.
You and Guy thought less, kind of. I think you were probably on about the same page, but Guy thought it was less, and I just think there's going to be some gems in this stuff.
We're at 932 now. Haven't done a single Marvel action figure and only a few of the chess pieces, right?
Yeah. Now, I will say that I think the Tomika and that Batman stuff, the Imaginext stuff, I do think that even though the listings are pretty high, I think I don't know what the results are going to be. Like, I don't know how fast they're going to sell, if we're going to have to like give price breaks to get them done, get them out of here, or what. So now this stuff I'm very confident in.
Yeah.
You know, the chess pieces, I'm fine with those too, but the Tomika and the Imaginext, those are a little sketch.
Yep.
While we were out, we also picked up the last thing that's going out today.
Honest Abe.
Yeah, you can't even see him. It's old Abraham Lincoln in there. But he's pretty much packed. I don't mean the box is packed. I'm going to put this in another box, but I mean like the interior packaging here. I'm just going to put a little void fill on top, close them up, and put them in another box. Hello everyone, welcome back. It is the second day of the video. It is Tuesday.
Yep.
And
we got something good yesterday in the mail. I think we kind of touched on it yesterday, and we actually opened it up.
We paid for it.
Yeah.
So we got our camera back. but the lens wasn't on it. And actually, when I sent it in to Canon, I didn't have the lens attached. I didn't have the body cap in. Look, they were nice enough to throw a body cap in.
They sent it back with a body cap on it, and man, they cleaned it up. It looks brand new. Like before, this little rubber, there's like rubber overlay. It was coming off. They reattached it for us.
No, they didn't. They replaced the whole front and back of the case. So it's basically a refurb at this point. And but the main problem, I read the repair thing. The main problem was the shutter wore out. The shutter failed, and it's rated. I have no idea how many photos we took with that camera. It was a lot. Yeah. It was like all photos for like what, 4 years. Right. And because I was using it before you came out here.
We wore the shutter out.
We actually did. Yeah. It's rated for 100,000 actuations. Usually they last a lot longer than what they're rated for, but I imagine we had at least 200,000 on that thing.
Yeah, see that? So they fixed the shutter or replaced it, and then they also replaced the front and back cover assembly,
which is the rubber parts.
And they just cleaned up the glass and everything. It looks brand new.
It does.
It really does.
Yeah, it does look brand new.
I told Lonnie it reminds me of like the American Girl Hospital. When you send something off, they clean it all up and put new parts if it needs it, you know?
Yeah, we paid for it. We paid $250, but still.
It's like a new camera. I mean, we would have paid a lot more even buying a used one. So we should get a lot more use out of it now.
Now that's the question, right? How long will it last? Yeah. And I guess we need to find out if we actually have a warranty on it now.
Yeah, there is something. I went to look yesterday and I got sidetracked, so I'll find that out and I'll update that.
Because unless we drop it and break it or something like that, I imagine the most likely thing to go out again would probably be the shutter again. Yeah. Would be like that should be years from now.
That's probably the one thing that's covered under the warranty is the shutter. So
okay, well, yeah. All right.
I'll take a look and see if I can figure that out. And
we get a lot of questions about like, oh look, they didn't keep the sticker. I sent them a sticker and they didn't keep it.
They're like, keep yours.
Look, I sent them stickers and a little thank you thing. Because I shipped something and I just always do that, and they didn't keep them. That hurt my feelings.
They're like, look at
man, that stinks.
Yep.
That's what?
That's your original packing slip.
Yeah, okay.
I thought they left you a note, but you left.
No, that's the only time I've ever sent packing slip is when I sent rejected.
We can't even reuse it because look.
It's rejected.
The little house is broken.
But I figure we could also kind of show, we've had questions about like camera settings we use. Yeah. And like those kind of settings will apply for a lot of cameras. It just might be a little different menu option or something like that.
But so he can show you basically what we keep it on to do photos in our cube.
Right. Know? And since we do move the camera around a little bit, like one of the main things I've missed about this camera, because iPhone cameras are awesome. Like iPhones take awesome photos. They really do. Like they're super sharp and like they look great. The one thing they don't do, well, there's a couple things. The color balance, the white balance, horrible.
It's horrible.
It's horrible on iPhone. And also the exposure, I'm not going to say exposure is horrible because it's exposing, the iPhone is exposing for like a medium exposure. Like it's not trying to blow out the background. It doesn't know all these things you're trying to do, right? It's just trying to create like a nice snapshot. It's not, so it doesn't, so I can't blame it on that. But yeah, we'll show y'all that in a little bit. Like the white balance or color balance or color temperature, whatever you want to call it.
And we actually, didn't you pick something up at a garage
I did.
sale? We'll use that to show you how we set the color balance.
Yep. I actually got something super cheap the other day to help us with the white balance, and the reason white balance is important is because you're telling the camera the color of your light source, right? Like
some lights are more yellow than others. You know that,
right?
So that kind of tells you how to adjust for that.
Like these lights and these lights are really pretty close. Yeah. You could kind of use the same. You could use the same setting, and like if you use like an incandescent light bulb, it would be way different. If you used it outside, it would be way different. Right. So, but yeah, we'll take a look at that in just a bit. First, we have just a few. We didn't get many orders overnight, so just a couple of orders going out right now. We'll get those pulled, and then we're going to get to listing some stuff.
Yep. The first 2 items are dog harness, and they're in the same location. So we'll go ahead and get them down. They're in that box up there in 11 Alpha.
Oh, okay. I got to move those Tamika things.
Yep. All right, the first one is number 4. We have 2 of them, but they should be in their own little bags. It's a pineapple harness. I need to look at it this way.
Boy, you really made this inventory nice and neat.
I did. See how I did it? There's 2 of them, but I gave them their own little baggie.
Okay, so, cool.
Number 4 sold for $18, and then number 8 sold for $12. 6.
Is it blue? Is it blue one? There's one down there too.
It's this one right here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, number 8. Look, there's a garage sale sticker on it for some reason. Yep, so $18 and $12. All right, we have 2 reels going out, 2 different orders on 5 Bravo. Simon and Garfunkel and Bernstein Dvorak.
Bernstein Dvorak? I thought it was funny. Simon and Garfunkel and Bernstein Dvorak. Let's see. Is it parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme?
Yeah.
That must, okay, yeah, Scarborough Fair is the name of the song. It's on there. It's like, that's not the name of that song, but that is the name of that album. Okay, and then we have, is it Dvorak New World Symphony or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a picture of a very suave dude on the front.
No, he is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That looks like, what's his name? Al Pacino?
What?
That looks like him, huh?
Yeah, looks like a bunch of white guys I've seen.
Alright, the Simon and Garfunkel sold for $30 and Al Pacino sold for $15.
That's not Al Pacino.
Alright, we sold another Star Trek Deep Space Nine card in the D&D drawer.
Alright, third one in about 10 days.
Yeah.
I feel like Star Trek is,
Wait, they have a new show that's out or something, don't they?
I have no idea.
I think they do.
I would not know anything about that.
I think they do. I
feel
saw a commercial or something.
I feel like Star Trek is definitely on the way down in popularity, right? Wouldn't you say?
I think so. The newer generations. All right, CC10, we have an Imaginext Catwoman figure and motorcycle.
That's the first thing we've sold from that buy.
Yep.
Because we haven't listed a ton from that buy yet. Okay, it's this right here, I think. No, that's not it. Oh, I have more. It's Catwoman, right?
Yeah.
That's Penguin. And that's Catwoman with her Jaguar motorcycle.
Yes. Sold that for $16.
Okay.
And then in the Bolo drawer, Mr. Christmas, Wise Man, and Camel.
It's kind of replacement parts, I guess. Wise Man and Camel, huh? Oh, I see them.
Yeah, they're connected. So yeah, well they do connect. Like it's pretty cool how it works.
He's got a hook.
Yeah, like the hand or something of the Wise Man hooks onto here, and the magnet's actually on him.
And the camel just gets drugged.
Yeah, he just kind of drags the camel around.
Okay, gotcha.
Pretty cool. We sold that for $10.
Okay, so that's everything we got to pull this morning. So this is going to be a quick pack for me. I'll go ahead and pack this stuff and we'll be right back.
Hey, and just so you know, there is a new Star Trek series out. Strange New World started in 2022.
Okay, huh, interesting.
Yeah.
I see them dancing and stuff.
know.
What? Wait, what is that? Is it a musical?
I don't know. It's a TV show.
Candace, I swear I just saw them like choreographed dancing.
Well, that's possible.
Wait. Well, yeah, they are. What is this? There's no dancing on the Enterprise. Look.
Yes,
look.
there is.
Musical event of the season. Look.
So they did a musical episode.
Oh, okay.
Just that one episode.
Okay, gotcha. All right, let me get the stuff packed.
Okay, so I have an interesting thought, and when we were doing the buy, I was kind of like rolling this through my mind, like what if? And I know other sellers do this or have done that. So, and I was told that we have like complete Build-A-Figure sets. So let me show you what a Build-A-Figure is, for those of you that don't know. They sold these action figures and they sold a part to another figure. So you had to you had to buy all of them in the series to make the full figure. And you can see the scale. He's a lot bigger. So in this particular case, in this series, you need all 8 of these here to build the main figure. So what I was thinking was, instead of selling the packs, what if I opened them up and sold the complete Build-A-Figure separate and then the individual figure separate?
How much does the Build-A-Figure sell for?
So in this particular one, now they could be different prices, of course. I just glanced at this one. This guy sells for around $160 complete.
That's a solid comp because there's a lot of solds to make that.
Yeah.
For you to make that, decision.
And then the figure himself loose would sell for about $15. Now this complete package sells for like maybe $20, $25. So to me,
what?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's a no-brainer.
Right. In this particular case.
And then it also makes the I didn't know that.
Yeah. So then also I kind of touched on this briefly. Some collectors like them loose so they can see if there's any issues in their paint or whatever.
I experienced that same thing with Hot Wheels whenever I bought I bought some like really high-end Redline Club Hot Wheel collection from Guy. This was I don't know, 3 years ago or so.
Yeah, it was before I was
it was a big buy. I paid like $3,500 for these cars. And like there were some serious cars. Like I think the most expensive one sold for like $800. And like a bunch of them sold on like $50, $100, $150, like it was ridiculous.
They were crazy.
Made a bunch of money. And that was it. They were all loose. And whenever I would comp these cars, and I would see people had them new in package, and people had them loose, and there was no difference. There was no difference.
So they could see any little scuff or like paint variation.
Especially on a Hot Wheel. Oh, this is the same thing.
Yeah.
You can what's the back of them look like?
Yeah, you can't.
I mean, you could kind of look down the side.
Yeah, but you can't see especially under his cape. So so that's kind of where I'm at. I'm gonna pull them all out and verify that I do have complete sets. This may be a moot point.
Right.
Here's the other thing, the other monkey wrench, and I do have variants. Like you can see on this guy, there's 2 different color costumes. Now in his particular case, there's no difference in of what they sell for. Now some of my other variants, I don't know. So, I'm going to pull everything out and lay it out and see where we're at.
I have a question. What if you don't, because like what you just described to me, it's a no-brainer. If this sells for 20 to 25 as is, and you could sell this guy, or maybe this is a cheaper one because this part is not as desirable, although all parts should be equally desirable. You need them all to make the thing.
Right.
But that's a no-brainer because you can get 20 for this just by stealing the Build-A-Figure part out and making the $160 Build-A-Figure.
Yeah.
So basically each Build-A-Figure part, if you average it out, is $20 a piece. Right?
Yeah.
So how does that make...
Yeah.
And now I don't know if that holds up across all figures or not.
Right. I have no idea. So yeah, and my other thing I'm gonna have to do, if I do have variants and I don't need, I'm gonna have to figure out which one is worth more or sells better on his own. So, but yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and pull them all out and see where we're at with that.
Yeah, that that as far as storing this stuff and shipping this stuff,
loose is better.
And yeah,
Oh, and the other thing we said is we'll just take all the comics and do one lot of the comics.
Yes, we can. Yeah. I don't know, Candace. That's mighty tempting.
I know.
It's a little scary too. But you know what? It's very similar to how we did the Monster High dolls.
Right, exactly. Parted them out because some people don't want the whole set. They only collect that one doll. Well, some people might only collect Century figures. I don't know.
Okay, all right.
So yeah.
Yeah, we'll check in later and see what you did with that. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
What a dilemma.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so it turns out as far as the complete Build-A-Figure goes, one series, this one right here, is what we have that can make a complete Build-A-Figure. I've got all the parts laid out, you know, for each part of his body. And then this is that Century figure, his left arm. We have that many of them. So we're going to have one complete Build-A-Figure.
I like how you have him laid out like his body.
Yeah. And then, like this one, I had so many to him, I was just kind of putting them in piles. I'm like, okay, I think we have another one. No, this is all bullseye variants right here. So yeah, we only have one complete Build-A-Figure, but I really think we're gonna still open them up and part them out. You know, we looked, and the body parts go for good money. Like, especially like the big parts, like the head and torso.
And there's not that many of them out there.
Right. So I think that's the route we're going to take. So all of those and these right here are what that is. And then in that box over there is just figures that'll be sold new in package.
Because they don't have Build-A-Figure parts.
Correct.
So the one Build-A-Figure, are you going to make the one Build-A-Figure complete?
Yeah, I think that'd be fun. I've never done that before.
Are you going to sell it complete?
Yeah.
Okay. And then the rest of those, you're going to open them up, sell figures separately.
Now, I'm going to comp as we go, because you never know. You may have a variant that brings a lot of money new in package.
Right.
So I'm not just going to go willy-nilly cutting everything open. I am going to check as I go. But yeah, that's the game plan right now. So,
I like it. I like the storage too.
Yeah.
Because it's going to make any that you cut open, it's going to make the storage nothing.
Yeah, the packaging on these things is obscene.
And it's going to make, it's big and just heavy. It's going to make it cheaper for the customers to buy it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's awesome. And, yeah, and the money is more when you open them up, right? Isn't that what you see?
That's what I'm seeing, yeah.
I mean, I feel like I'm missing something here. It seems like it's too good.
And I've been told that by viewers before when we were selling them. You know, people open them and sell just the Build-A-Figure part. So especially like if you go to a garage sale or something, they have, but especially the newer ones that are in the boxes and not these plastic cases, they will take the Build-A-Figure part out, and then you're left with the action figure still in the box. So be careful when you're buying them that Build-A-Figure part is not missing.
We've had a lot like that. And I mean, we knew they were like that when we bought them.
Yeah.
But yeah.
If you come across and you're comping that, like a thrift store or garage sale,
and it says no bath on it,
that means no Build-A-Figure part is included. Yeah.
This is interesting. Okay. Yeah. You're in your element. Look at you.
And I love listing action figures in the case, in the box. They're okay. I love listing them loose. I like to pose them. So. Well,
you get to do that now. You also like photographing them.
I do.
Posing. And I wanted to talk about photography real quick, and I'm going to keep this really fast.
Why don't I move this stuff out of your way so you can show?
I can show. Well, I'm going to show just settings real quick. I'm going to come over here. Okay, now I'm going to talk about the settings we use on our camera. It's going to be like the most basic, fast camera course ever, or photography class ever. And I'm going to keep it really simple because it really is. There's only 3 components for an exposure in a camera. You have aperture, shutter speed, and ISO. Aperture is how open is your lens. There are blades in your lens that, like at a very high aperture, like a 16 or something, it'll be really tight. When you open it all the way up to like a 4 or 2.8, it's going to be wide open like that. So the more wide open it is, the lower numbers, like a 2.8 is going to be real wide open. That lets more light in. And your higher numbers, like a F11, F16, things like that, it's going to let less light in. Now, the more light you let in, the wider open your aperture is, the less depth of field, or the less you'll have in focus. You'll have a thinner plane of focus. Like whatever you're focusing on is going to be super sharp. Everything else is going to be like super blurry. So you can just open the lens up all the way, but if you do that, it's not for, especially for product photography, it's maybe not the best choice. For a portrait or something, maybe you want to do that and like make your background, like totally blow out your background, make it completely blurry as like a creative type of thing. But in product photography, typically I like to keep aperture at like f8. That's where I like to sit. To keep plenty in focus, still have a little bit of a blurry background. So I keep aperture at 8. Shutter speed, we'll talk about that in a minute, but that's the speed at which you're the length of the exposure. Obviously, the longer your shutter speed is, the more time the sensor is going to be exposed to light, which means your image is going to be brighter or more exposed. ISO simply refers to the sensitivity of, it used to be the sensitivity of film back in the day. It would be like the film speed, how reactive was the film. And there's usually like a drawback. Like the more sensitive your film is, the higher your shutter speed can be, but the more noise that would be let in. But with today's digital cameras, a lot of times your ISO or your film speed can be really high just because the sensors are so good and there won't be that much noise. They've gotten a lot better. So the way these three things work together, if you make your aperture smaller, then your picture is going to be darker unless you either make your shutter speed longer or you make your ISO higher. So all three of these work in concert. They work in balance. If you make your shutter speed faster, you're going to have to make one of these, you're going to have to change one of these other variables here to get the exposure that you want. And so we've really dumbed this down a lot. And you can see, like, this is the shutter speed on our camera. 1/20 is what it reads right now. F8, like I told you. And then ISO is 800, like I told you. So we make it really simple. Like, all we change whenever we're shooting, F8 stays locked in. ISO 800, we don't change that either. Those two numbers stay locked in. So the only number we ever change when we're shooting is the shutter speed. And we just have that right here. So whenever we're taking photos, if we look here and we read the little exposure meter, and if we just adjust this until we get it exactly how we like it to look. And usually, I don't know about you, Candace, but typically once I do it for that first photo, I usually don't change it.
Nope.
Sometimes maybe like if I turn it over and like it's a really dark thing or something.
If you're like getting a real tight shot, sometimes to get detail, you might have to bump it up or down 1 or 2.
Right. Yeah.
But for the most part, no.
So we have those, like, it's 3 variables and it seems kind of confusing, but yeah, we lock it in at 800 ISO. And then I've found that in here, using those settings, the shutter speed is in an acceptable range.
Yeah.
Because you don't want your shutter speed getting too slow. Like, once you get down to like 1/60th shutter speed, if you go much lower than that, now you have the potential to have blur in your photo. So instead of going down below that, now you might want to adjust your ISO higher to where you can make your shutter speed higher also, if that makes sense. But that's just what we do as far as like the manual settings. Is all we ever adjust. Once we get F8 and 800 locked in, all we ever adjust is our shutter speed. The only other thing we have to talk about is white balance, and that's important. Okay, so the other thing that's really important as far as the setting on the camera is white balance. And that is because light is different colors depending on what light you use. And also other things that can change that too are like just light bouncing off of different colors that you might have in your shooting environment. So it's really important, I think, to actually use, I have to adjust this exposure down, actually use a custom white balance. That's what we do. And here's what we do. Actually, I bought this at a garage sale this past weekend, this Pro Disc 2. It's got a gray card in it. You don't have to use a gray card. You can just use something gray. Although I've looked at the results from using this particular gray card, and it's awesome. You can find gray cards for sale. And I've just, like I said, I've used just gray things that I found around the shed before, and that worked pretty good. But yeah, all we do is we just, first I come way out and I lock focus, because once I really get in there, I'm not going to be able to focus again. I fill the screen with nothing but the gray, and then if we hit play back here, you can see that's all I have is gray there. And then I'm going to go to my menu, shooting settings. I'm going to go to custom white balance, and it's going to show only compatible images shown. And then I just hit set. I'm not going to do it because I've already done it and we've really got it locked in. It looks great. But yeah, that's all you have to do to set your white balance, at least on this camera. Other cameras are going to be slightly different, but yeah, that's all we do for manual camera settings. Aperture, shutter speed, ISO, we lock those in. This changes dynamically on each photo depending on how we want it to look, and then we do the white balance. And that's all we do. It's just that simple. We are so happy to have our camera back.
It always, like, I guess we've gotten used to this last month or so using our iPhone. When I took my pictures this morning, I was like, whoa.
Candace kept on saying, wow, look at this, look at this.
Picture, Larry, look at this picture.
Wait, look at this corner.
It looks like I did a background removal tool. Look at this.
Yeah, no, it's
great.
And look, this is not to say that cell phones aren't good enough, because they are.
They are.
They truly are.
And probably if you had a cell phone listing and our camera listing, that you're not going to get any more money from one or the other. It is satisfying though, taking nice photos.
Yeah, it does look way better when you're scrolling by.
Oh, yeah.
And when I see somebody with a really nice photo, I immediately kind of think they'll probably pack it well too.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that, you know, because we, like you said, we've used cell phone photos for over a month now, and they're fine.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel good though.
They're fine. They're adequate.
They're good enough. Yeah. And I'm a good enough kind of guy, so like it kind of fits. But Candace was so happy to have her camera back this morning.
Especially now that I'm going to be listing these figures.
Yeah. I shoot way faster with this too.
Yeah.
Because I could see the screen. I'm like, pop, 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 pop. Like, I find the controls on the iPhone camera, like, I don't like.
Especially, my phone's kind of big and my hands are not big. So it's a little harder for me. So yeah. I'm excited.
I'm excited too. Okay, we're doing a little listing now. And it's funny, I talked to all that stuff about photography, right? And you can see, here's Candace's nice photos with the camera. And then here I am after doing that talk about photography. Look at this vacuum cleaner part. Look, the white balance is off. I've got a piece of the background kind of like whatever over here and over here. And that's the best photo. It gets worse from there. Look at that. So after saying all that, I did that with that part. But I only do that with stuff that I think I can get away with it with. Like here's the canister, similar photo. And here's some football pads. You know, I mean, as long as it's, in my opinion, on stuff like some stuff, as long as it's clear. And obviously we don't have a huge light box to do that with. We do have that. Or I can make a background, but sometimes I just don't feel like it. So
something that's utilitarian. What's the point?
Yeah, exactly. That's the way I feel.
Like with the figures, yeah, they want to see the detail of the paint and everything on them. But for a vacuum cleaner hose, who cares?
And figures are more competitive too.
Yeah.
It's a much more competitive market than a vacuum cleaner hose.
Yeah.
There aren't that many of vacuum cleaner hoses on eBay.
No, there's a lot of Centuries.
There's a bunch of those. Yeah, hell, there are a lot. You have.
I had 5.
I know. Look. These are all the same figure.
Just different variations.
Different variations.
3 different variations. Yeah.
This guy looks like he's quoting Shakespeare. And so I'm going through. We have a bunch of stuff back here. This is the stuff I already listed here. And I have a bucket with some unlisted stuff. So while Candace has fun with the toys, I'm doing different stuff just because we like to have that variety. Let's see. Did I take the tape out? Oh, I took the tape out. I'll show y'all. Yeah, so I think I have a few more camcorders too. I don't think these are very pricey though. It's a JVC. This is a VHC camcorder, and it doesn't even have a flip out screen. Like, if you want to use it, you have to use the viewfinder here. And, or if you want, you can hook it up to a TV and you can use that as a monitor, live monitor. But I did test it and looks like it works fine.
Testing.
It's not awesome sound, but I just go in and I test the zoom. And I think there's going to be some, like, this is an old used tape. That's an old test I did on a different camera. It's like the tracking's different or something. And then, yeah, so that is what I'm up to. I'm going to list this now. It's tested working. And I know we have a lot of inventory in here. And Candace she seems to be progressing fairly quickly through this stuff. But we did get the call.
Yeah, we did. We're meeting with the guy again today. See what he has for us, or potentially for us.
It's going to be in the next video.
Yes.
It's going to be at the very beginning of the next video. When we close this one, we're going to be headed over to go meet Guy again. It's going to be a deal probably on about the scale of this last deal. So not a monster deal, but definitely not a small deal either.
Which I kind of like it that way, because then you can work through it. It's not so overwhelming, and where stuff gets put into storage and you just don't get to it. You know?
Yep, I agree. And it seems like Guy is back in action. He's got I know he has a couple of irons in the fire right now, because the stuff I believe the stuff that the place he bought this stuff, I think he has a lot more he can buy. Right,
there's potential, but more potential buys there.
And then the place he bought the stuff that we're gonna see in tomorrow's video, or the next video I should say, it won't be tomorrow. That stuff is from another person, and then they also have more stuff that he might buy later.
Yep.
So he's cooking. Guy is cooking right now.
Yep.
All right, while I was editing this video that you're watching right now, we got so excited about going to meet Guy for that other buy that we forgot to say goodbye. So thanks a bunch for watching. We will see y'all again very soon. Bye, y'all.